This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to The Onside Kick. My name is Ricky Widmer, and as always, I'm joined by the Mark Weber.
Dub them ease.
And Mark, we've got, first off, before we get into the podcast, I want everyone right now, while you're listening to this edition of The Onside Kick, go to the Most Valuable Podcast Facebook page or Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. Check out our round of 32 for the best sports movie brackets. It's out. Our 32 teams are there. Go vote for your best sports movies. Next week, we will have the Sweet 16 for you
And
guys.
remember, there are two links. There are two different survey monkeys, so go to both of them. Don't forget.
And it completes the entire round of 32. But for this podcast, Mark, a lot of stuff, there was kind of some stuff that happened in the football
they
world.
had rule changes and things like that.
Well,
nothing too exciting.
We want to make this fun for you guys. So instead of just going, hey, yeah, that kind of happened. Yeah, that did happen. We came up with, this is the Onside Kicks 2015 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. We have waited. Todd McShay and Mel Kiper have gone through 3, Mark. This is our first one for this year, and let's get it started off right. Who do we have going number 1?
Of course. It's going to be Jameis Winston.
It's Jameis Winston.
Who else is it going to be?
Well, and here's the only thing I thought of. Lovie Smith, he's a defensive guy. Is there a chance he goes with Leonard Williams?
You know, I think it's fair to wonder and to think about that. But, you can't. When you have that number 1 pick, I don't think you can pass up. And especially when you got a GM, of course, who's really the guy making the decision, but who's going to be sitting there going, this guy, Florida guy, he's going to sell jerseys.
See, and we can go right into the next one. Tennessee, if Williams does get taken, Tennessee goes Winston. Winston gets taken. Leonard Williams, he's going to Tennessee.
For sure.
He's going to play defensive end for the Titans. The Jaguars is where it gets interesting, though, because the Jaguars could go with a defensive end in Dante Fowler, but they could go wide receiver and say, you know what, screw it. We're just going to take Kevin White, which I think they should do. Give Blake Bortles someone to throw to.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to help out, of course, if you go with the defense. And the defense is more of the slow build up that I think the Jaguars are probably going for. But for me, I'm thinking, you know what? We're at the very top. Let's go and get the guy who we think is the best wide receiver because, hey, we don't want to be in this spot next year. So let's go score some touchdowns. Let's build that relationship with young wide receiver, young quarterback.
Well, and the one thing with Kevin Williams, when we had the podcast about Kevin White.
Yeah.
I said Kevin Williams. Kevin White, the big thing between him and Cooper was he's faster than Amari Cooper. And he's also taller. He's a guy you can just say, hey, you know what? Go for a streak, and I'm going to hit you.
Exactly.
And that's what you need with Blake Bortles. With the Raiders, then, they're sitting there going, you know what? We'll take Fowler then.
Yeah, I think at number 3 and number 4, these two teams are going to have pretty similar boards. It's basically whoever you don't take, we are taking. Because they have the same needs. They're both young rebuilding teams. So this one pretty much flipped the coin.
However, if you're a Raiders fan, you're sitting there going, hey, you know what, Jacksonville, go ahead and take Fowler because we want to see White and Carr match up in Oakland. Let's move on then. The big thing with the Redskins, we kind of got a shocker here, Mark.
This is a big one.
This is, if you looked at the thumbnail
if you're on YouTube, you got it spoiled.
You already know what's going on. Mariota, the GM for the Redskins, said, hey, you know what, we'll go quarterback at number 5. It could be a scare tactic, but one thing I didn't say for this mock draft is
no trades.
No trades.
Yeah.
This is just straight through.
And this one is the perfect position. That's the perfect smoke screen because you know the Jets are taking him.
However, if the Redskins go Mariota like we do here in our mock draft, is he really the type of quarterback for Jay Gruden? Because the big thing about RG3 was, you know what? He's not Jay Gruden's guy. He's not the kind of quarterback Jay Gruden wants. He wants a pocket passer. Well, Mariota's not a pocket passer.
No. I mean, he's a very intelligent quarterback, got great football IQ and everything like that. So maybe they kind of hope it'll work out for him. I don't think it's a good fit necessarily, but I think it would possibly be a GM move of like, hey, the old, quarterback wasn't really working out. He obviously likes this type of quarterback. So he's saying, you know what? Here's another one. I know he's going to sell jerseys. People are going to be excited to see him out there. It's going to be fun, and he can run the offense that I thought RG3 was going to be able to continue doing. And let's remember, of course, they had success with RG3 at first. The injuries are what brought RG3 down.
And this is the thing I like the most about Marcus Mariota. And if you've ever heard an Onside Kick podcast before, if you're new to the Onside Kick, this is going to be new to you. I'm a guy, I prefer Marcus Mariota more than Jameis Winston, mainly because Marcus Mariota is football smart. He has the better head on his shoulders, and to me makes the better football decisions on the field, where Jameis Winston, to me, he threw passes that were like, oh, should have been intercepted. Oh, good thing they were dropped. Mariota's a guy where, hey, I can run the ball, but I don't have to run the ball. And I'm going to make throws that are high percentage throws that, and when I say high percentage throw, I mean like, hey, you know what? If I have to dump it off here instead of slinging it down the field, I'm going to do that. The national championship game, if that's all you saw of Marcus Mariota, you're deceiving yourself, because that's not the real Marcus.
Yeah.
It's not. I feel like what we saw against Florida State is more of the real Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, but to be fair, of course, I think him having the high percentage throws is really going to help him out, because he does have of course, the main flaw of, you're a system quarterback. Essentially, from what we know so far, you're a system quarterback. You could make the transition, but it's going to take some time to make that transition. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's the biggest downfall for Marcus Mariota is he's going to go to a Redskins or a Jets type of team who are not going to be a good idea for him. I mean, if he falls into the perfect situation, it's going to be going to Chip Kelly, obviously. But if that's taken off the table, it's going to the Atlanta Falcons. It's going to, a New York Giants team where he can sit there and not do anything for a few years, become an NFL type of quarterback.
And you think that's going to happen in Washington because they have RG3, because they have Kirk Cousins?
It could. I definitely think it could happen. There's enough younger quarterbacks there to where he's not necessarily going to, right off the bat, sit down, but he could afford to lose the camp battle to RG3 and come back next year and win it out.
Here's the thing I think with the Redskins, the fan base, because I'm not a Redskin fan, I'm a Vikings fan, but I feel like the Redskin fan base, if they go ahead and draft Mariota, there may be the small percentage that's like, okay, he was the best man on the board. He is a good quarterback. We'll see what he can do. However, most people in that fan base are going to be pissed off at that decision, because they're going to say, well, what are you doing? We took a quarterback. When we took RG3, we took two quarterbacks. Both of them haven't worked out. What do you think taking another quarterback is going to do when we have needs in other areas? When everyone's talking about this quarterback classes, this one's not going to be the strongest. Next year, it probably won't be the strongest. And I'm going to go back to my other point. Right now, Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, New England Patriots, they look like the smartest people in the room for taking Jimmy Garoppolo last year when they did.
Assuming it works. Assuming it works.
Right now, I'm saying right now, they look like the smartest people in the room for taking Garoppolo when they did.
I guess so. I don't know. Taking a backup quarterback.
They took an investment to the future because they knew that and this is a different topic for a different day.
Brady's playing till he's 40.
Hey, Brady.
So Jimmy Garoppolo is getting traded
according
somewhere.
to Brady's dad. But they said, hey, what if Brady doesn't make it to 40? We got to draft a new quarterback. Instead of waiting for that to happen, they said, hell, let's just take him right here. Marcus Mariota, I'm telling you, Redskin fans are not going to be happy with that decision. They're going to say, why didn't you take Randy Gregory?
But I think at the same time, when it gets time to, camp and everything, they'll be buying those jerseys.
Well, yeah, the Marcus Mariota jerseys.
You're a GM. I'm not saying you don't want to win football games, but at the same time, if you want to kind of sort of push one quarterback who hasn't really worked out and your fans aren't really happy with him out the door while getting a big name type of guy, this is one way to do it. Not saying they're going to, but it's one way to do it.
Okay, so the Redskins have just taken Marcus Mariota.
The Jets are not happy.
If you're the Jets and you're sitting there like, well, what do? We were going to take him. Who do you take? You're on the clock.
Well, for the Jets, I mean, it is tough. You had probably one of the better free agency periods.
And I know you did. Well, you got Darrelle Revis.
You took care of your corner needs.
Antonio Cromartie.
You got yourself a wide receiver. So you don't need one now necessarily.
What about, and I know that you make the joke all the time of, okay, you still need a quarterback, not a real quarterback. You do have Fitzmagic. You traded for Fitzmagic.
Yep.
And I feel like they traded for Fitzmagic just in case what is happening in our mock draft happens.
Mm-hmm.
Someone takes Mariota ahead of us. Okay, we still have Ryan Fitzpatrick to fall on.
For me, I'm looking at the Jets. I think you got to go with some defense, right? You got to shore up that defense because your defense is falling apart. You got rid of the defensive, I don't want to call him a mastermind, but a really good defensive coach. So maybe you look at one of these pass rushers, and your question here is going to be Shane Ray or Randy Gregory.
And
who do you like better?
Well, and I'm looking right now at Todd McShay's mock draft, and really the biggest thing is Shane Ray is a guy who he's developed. I mean, of course, every rookie when they come in, you got to develop, you got to get used to the pro game. But the biggest knock with Gregory that I see is what Todd McShay says, where he needs to bulk up to be a presence on the edge and have more power in the pass rushing. If I'm looking at that and I'm the Jets, I'm going, okay, he's a developmental project. We don't got time for that. Nobody got time for that. We got to go with Shane Ray. We got to go with someone who has the possibility to help us day one, if not day one, year one.
Mm-hmm. Which is definitely what you need. So, I mean, I can't really argue with that. I really can't. So go with the guy who you think is going to start day one and make an impact. Go grab Shane Ray.
And I think we're both in an agreement at number 7. This is going to be a quick pick. If you're the Bears, you got to go Danny Shelton, right?
Yeah. I think you do. I mean, I definitely. Here's the problem. If I'm sitting here and I see Randy Gregory sitting there and going, oh man, we just have too many guys who are going to play outside linebacker. I want him so badly, but you got to go Danny Shelton at this point, because even though I would rather have Gregory, we got too many guys who might not work. I don't know. There's too many things going on at the outside linebacker position for the Bears.
Well, not just that. The thing with the Bears is you're transitioning from a attacking 4-3 to, I mean, Fangio's got some attacking plays in his 3-4 defense, but it's going to be a rough transition. And the one thing I was watching this afternoon, NFL Insiders, and the one thing that I believe it was either Polian or Mortensen said was the one thing that Fangio and the Bears are going to do is they're going to pick up veteran guys at each level. So like linebackers, secondary, to kind of be the translators for Fangio. Like, okay, I know what he's trying to say because I know this system. Let me translate it to these guys who are just learning this system. If I'm the Bears, though, you got to go with that nose tackle because, I mean, the Lions are kind of the only exception. The Vikings right now, I know that he may not be on the team. He may stay on the team. But right now he's on the roster, Adrian Peterson. Then you have Eddie Lacy with New York.
The Packers.
Well, the Packers. Why did I say New York? But you have him with the Packers. That's 2 teams. I know that, I mean, the Lions got rid of Reggie Bush, but they can fit someone in there to try to run the ball. The NFC North, who we like to run the ball, Mark. And if you're playing a 3-4, you got to say, hey, you know what? You got to beat us to the outsides because Danny Shelton's going to be blocking the middle. Look what Will Fork was able to do with the Patriots.
For sure. And what he's going to have. Oh, God, I still can't wait to see the Texans.
This is off.
Can't wait to see them play.
This is a little off topic, but I mean, when that signing of Will Fork did happen, best tweet I saw, NFL Network's Gil Brandt, who's a scout, said, Clowney, period, Will Fork, period, Watt, period, enter, wow.
It's Andrew Luck. You know what? It's been a good career, man. It really has. We're gonna miss you.
Are they gonna be like the Russian and Rocky IV? Just I will break you.
They probably will. Oh man, after that, because I mean Andrew Luck so far has just pretty much had the division, and now he's going, oh man, hey guys, our first pick, I don't care, best offensive lineman you can find, give me, please.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to number 8, the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm gonna give you a choice of 2 players. You're either gonna take Iowa's Brandon Sheriff, who's an offensive tackle, or you're going to take the sliding Randy Gregory. Falcons do need both. Do you go protect Matt Ryan or the developmental outside pass rusher?
You know, it is a tough decision. It really is, because you really could use that outside linebacker and the guy who's going to get to some quarterbacks. But for me, I always fall back on the most important thing in the NFL is your quarterback. And it's always about what you can do to make your quarterback play better. So I'm sitting there going, I want somebody who's going to keep Matty Ice on his feet, not moving around, not worried. We need to improve our offense from what it's been. Not so great. Give me Brandon Sheriff. I want somebody who's going to keep Matty Ice on his feet.
And here's I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. We're putting Sheriff in as the pick officially for the mock draft. But the one interesting thing, even if Ray's off the board, because I think Shane Ray would fit better with a new defensive head coach like Dan Quinn. But it's the same thing I said about Lovey at number 1. Dan Quinn comes in. He's a defensive-minded coach. Does he kind of sit there and go, you know what, we do need offensive tackle, but A, Randy Gregory, he's best player available, and 2, I would love to have someone to beef up my defense here in Atlanta.
Sure. Yeah, and you know he's going to be thinking it. It's going to be a hard thing for him in this first draft to really establish his presence on this team. But I personally, I got to go for some protection.
You gotta keep Matty Ice off his back if you want to win some football games. I'm going to shock some people here at number 9, Mark. Do you mind if I take the Giants pick?
Well, let's do it.
So if I'm looking at their needs, the top need besides right tackle, but they signed Marshall Newhouse. So, okay, we got a little veteran coming in. They need 2 safeties. They're not going to reach at number 9 for the top safety in Landon Collins. Landon Collins, I think, is the top safety. He's the first one off the board in McShay's latest mock draft. Because of that, they really do not need they have so many strong side linebackers, don't really need that pass rusher on the outside. So they take Gregory and say, you know what? He is best available. We're going to move him out of the way. They look and they go, who's the next of best available? Oh, look at that. Amari Cooper. Now we have Odell Beckham Jr., Amari Cooper, Eli. Let's go.
Yeah, you want to ensure that Eli kind of gets past this little roadblock.
Then you got Shane Vereen in the backfield. Finally got a running back that he's not one of the top running backs in the league, but you can rely on him. He did some good things in New England. Yeah. And then you put these 2 on the outside. Odell you could just throw it anywhere and he'll catch it 2 fingers.
Exactly.
2 fingers.
You really got to improve this. So I think improving the offense is very important for the Giants too, because you're thinking about the Cowboys just made a joke of you guys last season. The Eagles have been making a joke of you especially when it comes to scoring points. You don't know what's going on with the Redskins so much, but
Tom
you got to
Coughlin continues to almost lose his job.
Yeah, got to put points on the board. Eli Manning's the most important thing to this team. You got to have something else to help push him a little further. It's one of those things where it's really just, you don't need it. But man, is it going to be nice to have.
What if you're the Rams then? Because the Rams were a team that, a lot of people are seeing Amari Cooper go to them. If Amari goes 9 to the Giants, who are the Rams taking?
Your heart is just broke. It really is breaking right here.
I don't know. You got Nick Foles. You can't be that broken. You got you got rid of the monstrosity, which is Sam Bradford. And the Eagles, you shockingly found a team to take him.
The Eagles paid you essentially to give them your garbage.
You got draft picks too.
Yeah, they're just like, you know what, guys, we really want that garbage you got there. It looks so nice. It
smells so good.
It smells good. I think one of these days we're going to trade it for a Marcus Mariota. For me, I think it's unfortunate for the Rams. They can't get that wide receiver they want. They kind of have to go need. And you don't want to be the team that goes based on need.
A far need, too.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you kind of are forced to reach because you need pretty much every offensive line position.
The way I see it, and before I say this, say who we got them going with.
You got to go with Pete, right? Yep. You have to.
Andres Pete out of Stanford, the junior 6'6", 313.
It is a reach. We will admit it's a reach.
Well, and I mean,
but you need it.
And I'm relating this to Todd McShay's 3.0 mock draft. He had him going 16 to the Texans. And here's the thing I think of. You just picked up Nick Foles a week or two ago. We did a huge podcast on it. You should go check it out. But you need to protect him now.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Bradford, yeah, you needed to protect Sammy too, but it doesn't matter. He was injury prone.
You failed to protect Sam Bradford, so
you need
not make the same mistake.
Nick Foles, you need to do it. And at the end of the day, it's like, hey, if we don't protect Nick Foles, we lose.
We have Sam Bradford 2.0.
Plain and simple, because yes, the Seahawks lost some stuff on defense, but guess what? They're still the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to. The 49ers lost some linebackers. They're still the 49ers, and the Cardinals aren't getting any worse. Yeah. You are the worst team in that division, and if you get worse while everyone else is getting better, you're just going to create a bigger hole for yourself. And that's why I say you go to offensive tackle. I'm gonna cover the next one.
Although, to be fair, I just want to say one thing.
Go.
I wouldn't call the Rams the worst team in the division. That's going to go to the 49ers.
Well,
they're a joke right now. They're a mess right now.
Right now, until they play games, the Rams are the worst.
I'm even willing to put, because of the off-season disaster that is the 49ers, I'm putting the Rams above them.
I guess. I'm going to take the next one. Do you mind if I take my Minnesota Vikings?
As much as I want to make a pick for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to let you do it.
Okay. I'm kind of torn right here because I know that there is one way that Mike Zimmer will go, and there's another way that I want him to go. The way that I want him to go is I want him to take Devontae Parker, Louisville wide receiver, because to me, I know we traded for Mike Wallace, but you go ahead, you get that guy who played with Teddy Bridgewater, can develop, be the right-hand man to Teddy, be the guy, the chemistry is there. Why not give him his Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Jay Cutler needed a Brandon Marshall. Tom Brady needed a Randy Moss. Kurt Warner needed a Torrey Holt. You have quarterbacks that need their wide receivers. And I know that the Colts, Peyton Manning needed his Marvin Harrison. Needed his Reggie Wayne for the second one. Drew Brees needed his Marquise Colston. The list goes on and on. Give Teddy Bridgewater that and Parker. That's what I want. However, I feel like they're going to go Michigan State corner, Trey Waynes, because Zimmer's a defensive guy. We beefed up the linebacker position last year with Anthony Barr, who he was injured but has potential. Now let's get the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you can't really argue with that logic there. As much as I know it's upsetting you.
I want to go at Parker, but we're gonna put Waynes down. You take the Browns. Take the Browns at 12.
I gotta love taking the Browns here. The Browns are in a very fortunate position. They do definitely have quite a few needs, and I think they sit here and go, man, it's a tough decision not to take a wide receiver.
We need to ring the bell here, though, right?
You should.
That finally this person who's been falling is going to be taken.
He's not happy. He's definitely not happy, but Randy Gregory, congratulations. Or, I'm sorry, you're going to the factory of sadness that is Cleveland.
Hey, they got a new logo.
There's hope.
They got a new logo.
Things look a little brighter nowadays.
They do have a new logo. I think that's the best thing going in Cleveland right now.
He's been falling. He's definitely at the number 12 spot. He's a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
He'll definitely help improve the Browns defense, which the Browns defense is not the worst thing in the world. It's really not. But if you continue building that, I think it's going to be great. Even though I know you have that disaster that is your offense right now, losing the tight end, not having wide receivers for the past 2 years now. What's going on with the quarterback situation? There's a lot going on there. But you can't pass off Gregory. You just can't do it.
No, you can't. And I mean, right after that, the Saints. I mean, New Orleans fans might be mad at us, Mark. They took a wide receiver last year in the first round. Guess what? They're going to do it again, Devonta Parker.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one where it's not really a big fall, but you're thrilled to see he's there.
Yeah.
You see he's there, and you're like, yeah, thank you. Please. Yes, thank you.
Well, and I think the biggest thing that puts into it, and I mean, they could steer away from this, but Marquise Colson's going to be 32 this June.
Yeah.
So before the NFL season, he's going to be 32. He ain't getting any younger.
No, definitely not. And I mean, Drew Brees himself isn't that young either. Get some good productivity out of Drew Brees while you can right now, I think. Just shore up that wide receiver core.
You know, the Drew Brees that everyone says you're thinking about trading. You know what I mean?
Why would you? I mean, first of all, what team really is going to trade for Drew Brees because of the age and the contract?
Hey, I would trade. I would trade Cutler for Brees in a heartbeat.
If you can straight up trade, yeah, okay, cool.
With draft picks, I would still take Brees for Cutler.
I wouldn't. And if it was the Bears, maybe with Lovie Smith, yeah. But when it comes to the Bears,
the Super Bowl year,
yeah, when we can get rid of Rex Grossman for him, I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic.
Come on, the best defense with Drew Brees instead of sexy Rexy.
But when you get the Bears in the position they're in now, which is what the hell is going on? Yeah, no, thank you. I'll keep Jay Cutler and keep the rebuild going.
Almost complete rebuild.
Pretty much complete. We pressed the button down most of the way, but it hasn't completely hit yet.
What about number 14? I'm going to let you take the Miami Tannehills.
Well, you know, Ricky, that I'm a huge fan of the Tannehills.
You love them Tannehills.
I really do. And I like this pick for them. I really do. I really love it. It makes me ecstatic. Going and getting that safety.
Does it get you excited?
I'm thrilled.
Okay.
I am thrilled to get Landon Collins in Miami. It's a great situation. He's the best safety.
Some may see that as a reach, though, because, I mean, if they're looking at other mock drafts, he's about 20th is where he's around, and to take him at 4. But 6 picks isn't that much of a reach, right? It's not too bad.
And he's the best safety on in the whole draft. And really, there's a pretty dramatic drop-off once you get past him. You guys need a safety. I mean, look at your division. You're going against so many good quarterbacks.
You already picked up Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
You already signed Jordan Cameron.
This defense
boost up your tight end core
is going to get so much better with Ndamukong Suh out there. But you got to remember, too, with Ndamukong Suh out there, teams are going to throw fast because he's going to get to quarterbacks. So, or at least push the entire offensive line on their backs. So they're going to be throwing it fast. You want somebody out there who you know is going to be a leader in the defensive back department and make everybody else better.
Okay. The next one, the Niners. You said you call them the worst team in the NFC West.
I definitely did.
We are going to go ahead, and they're going to go with outside linebacker Vic Beasley. He's going to fall 2 spots from where Todd McShay had him going.
Yeah. Vic Beasley, he's going to be good there. I mean, they need somebody to help out, get to quarterbacks.
And I think the big thing is think about what they lost so far this offseason, where you had free agency start, and right away you lost Patrick Willis, retired, Chris Borland, retired, and you're sitting there going, whoa, wait a second. We need some linebacking help. However, because there's no real good inside linebacking depth, you're going to settle for the rusher on the outside. I mean,
it really, I know it's not the perfect fit. It's not what you need. It's really not even a good fit necessarily because you want the inside position. But I definitely don't think it's going to hurt because this not offensive line, this linebacking core lost horribly. And especially because, you had a guy who really stepped up last year, and now he's just saying, no, thank you, I'm done. So now you just have to go draft something to fill this hole because there's now a gaping hole, and you got to kind of try and figure some things out in camp.
One thing I will say is, did you hear what Borland said this week?
He's giving back some of the 75%, I believe, of the signing bonus.
The way he said it was, you know what? A lot of people have said my retirement's a cash grab. I'm only gonna take what I earned. I am giving back 75% or 3/4, if you're a math person, of my signing bonus back to the 49ers because I only played 1 season. out of my 4 years.
Which is cool. I mean, to be honest,
Hey,
I
like
wouldn't have done it.
It's a class act.
I probably wouldn't have. I would have taken the money.
I wouldn't have either, but to be honest, it's a class act, and it really shows that, hey, you know what? I did this for my health.
Yeah.
I really did this because I was afraid of what could have happened. Number 16, who are the Texans going with? They made a big splash with Vince Wilfork.
Yeah, they
Are
did.
they going to make a big splash here?
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Okay. For the Texans, I definitely think they have quite a few directions they could go in. Right? I mean, the Texans, you could kind of try and get better on offense, thinking we got someone we're not 100% sure about in the, what do you call it? The quarterback position.
Yep.
So you don't completely know. You could go, I think you just lost Andre Johnson. I want bad to go get a wide receiver.
Yeah, and I mean, you could go with...
but I don't think...
You could go with Beckham.
I just think maybe it's not the right move because it's kind of a reach.
And I mix the two. It is Beckman. Beckham is, I was thinking Odell.
Yeah. So I think what you do, what's another way you can protect your quarterback?
Center.
You protect him.
You get a center.
Exactly. Go for Cameron Irving.
Yeah, and I mean, this is another one where some people could see it as a reach because Todd McShay has him at 33rd or 23rd overall. But hey, you know what?
But as talent-wise, he ranks pretty high. He ranks higher than that position, than that draft grade.
Yeah, and I feel like with the Texans, the big thing is you got to protect the quarterback. Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett have the talent to bring you to the promised land.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm saying playoffs. That's what I mean by promised land.
They'll get you in competition with Andrew Luck.
Yeah, they'll get you there. It's your defense that's going to win games. It's kind of like the Bears when you had Sexy Rexy. The defense is going to do all the heavy lifting.
And Rex is going to throw 5 interceptions.
The offense just has to do good enough.
And still win with 5 interceptions.
Here's a big pick, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this number 17th pick by the Chargers. This is a pick that I really think, even now more so, that Ryan Matthews is now in Philly. The Chargers are going to go with Melvin Gordon. They're going to draft a running back. They're going to be the first team to draft a running back at 17th, and here's why I think so. Ryan Matthews, like I said, he's in Philly. He's kind of injury prone. He has injury issues. And if you're the Chargers, you're sitting there going, if we want to give Phillip Rivers everything that he wants to work with, we got to give him a running back that works well. Yeah, you can go Todd Gurley, kind of hearing the Marshawn Lynch comparisons to him, but the injury kind of sways me away. Plus, like I have said, if you're new to the podcast, I'm a Big Ten guy. I've seen a lot of Melvin Gordon this season. I love what I see. I love what I see from the Wisconsin back. I love him.
Yep, you want Phillip Rivers to do his best. He's got to have a good running back.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Well, and I mean, you also lost Eddie Royal, and I feel like the Chargers are going to pick up a wide receiver later in the draft. They may even test free agency. There's still some free agency ones out there, but you got to give them a running back. You have to be able to run the ball. And it's kind of like, I'm going to say what Rex Ryan said when he was on NFL Insiders today. The big reason why he went for LaShawn McCoy is now he's like, we're a threat to run the ball on any down for any distance. And that's the biggest thing that's going to help us.
Yeah.
Being able to run the ball on any down, any distance. Melvin Gordon can do the same thing. What are the Chiefs going to do at 18?
The Chiefs, it's simple. You guys need somebody who can get that ball into the end zone who's a wide receiver.
Well, can Jeremy Maclin do it? I hear they did not do so last year.
Yeah, I mean, you would think he would have the ability to make that happen.
Here's what you do. You have Travis Kelce line up as a wide receiver. He gets into the end zone there. There's your wide receiver.
But is he going to get paid as a wide receiver or a tight end?
He's a tight end. He's a tight end.
Exactly. So this is why you're going to go out and get Green Beckham. You got to do it.
And he's 6'5". He's a tall wide receiver.
He'll catch the ball for sure.
You already picked up Jeremy Maclin. You reunited him with Andy Reid. And I feel like, you know what? It's a smart pick. It's the right pick. You can't win games. You can't make the playoffs if your wide receivers aren't scoring touchdowns. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just not going to cut it.
Now you got a couple that can do it.
What about the Browns at 19? This is their second pick of the first round.
Yeah, okay. Cleveland Browns. So they definitely they need a wide receiver, right? They need one.
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree on that, right? Right, ladies and gentlemen. So for the Cleveland Browns, they kind of had a mess. I need to reiterate this again. They've had a mess of this entire team forever, right? Forever. We could say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I still am completely torn, Ricky, because this defense, which we've been improving in the draft for the Browns,
night I'm torn. I'm all out
we
of
keep
things.
improving it. But what they really need is that offense. But at the same time, getting yourself defensive tackle Malcolm Brown is just going to help that defense so much more. I think you got to go with it. I know the offense is going to keep suffering because you've gone defense twice in this draft, but you can't. I don't think you can pass up Malcolm Brown, right? You just can't do it. You need that defensive tackle.
I don't know. I don't know. With the Browns, to me, right here, I don't know what you do.
I mean, maybe if Green Beckham was still on the board, you'd go with Green Beckham.
I guess.
But,
I mean, you do need a wide receiver.
But without that, I think you kind of go for one of the better defensive tackles that's in the draft.
And I will say, now, ever since you said the word torn, you
can't get it out of your head?
The song Torn is going through my head. And I'll be honest, I looked up the lyrics to try to quote a little bit, but you finished what you were saying before I could find the lyrics. No, I mean, with the wide receiver, I would go wide receiver, but to be honest, Devin Smith, Jalen Strong, Devin Funchess.
You're not that thrilled.
At 19, that's a stretch.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a huge stretch. There's a probability that one of those guys could be available when you come back around 12 in the second round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Malcolm Brown's the way to go. You got to beef up the defense. You got to do it. And here is my favorite pick. Do you mind if I take this one at number 20?
Feel free.
So, we love Chip Kelly of recent days, recent weeks, and the Eagles. Some people think they're going to trade up, but like we said for this mock draft, no tradesies. No tradesies. You're stuck where you are. We got a little conspiracy theory going here. Chip Kelly loves his Oregon guys, Mark. He really does.
He loves them so much.
He really loves his Oregon guys. And I mean, yeah, could he use a safety in Landon Collins? Probably. Collins is off the board. So with this pick at number 20, what I think Chip Kelly will do is he's going to go Eric Armstead, defensive end, out of where? Oregon. He's going to go with his Ducks.
Is there anywhere else?
Because you want to know what, Mark?
That you can go.
Ducks fly together.
Yeah, I got to ask, is there any other team in college football? Chip Kelly doesn't know.
Is there any other team?
Sure.
Is there any other team that drafts Oregon players? I think they just all go to Philly.
Pretty much.
Ducks grow up and become Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow it works out. It's the American dream. That's what it is. Now, this is a good team. I like this team. All right. The Cincinnati
Eagles?
Bengals.
Oh, okay. You're
Cincinnati
moving on.
Bengals.
Okay.
I like these guys.
Red Rocket?
Because they somehow have everything go well.
Mm-hmm.
They get into the playoffs, and then they go back home. I don't know how, but it always happens. It always happens. And not that I think anything's going to change because Andy Dalton's still out there, but we're going to keep improving this defense. Defense is fine.
All season you hear, could this be the year for Cincinnati?
No, it can't.
And then they lose in the first round. They lose in the first game every time.
Every time. It'll never change. This is just their life. They're going to go get Eddie Goldman, yet another defensive tackle. You know, you see the Browns go defensive tackle and you're thinking, oh, okay, same state, we'll go 1-2. But yeah, I think this is going to definitely help out. Keep the defense good because you're not really going to be able to give that much more to Andy Dalton. I mean, he's got everything he needs, right? He's got AJ Green. What more could you ask for?
Well, AJ Green's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
For sure.
Here's the thing with the Steelers. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Todd McShay's. He has him going Jalen Collins, but guess what? There's already a corner that is better that's still available on ours. Guess who the Steelers are going to go with, Mark?
Wake Forest. I don't know. Who's it going to be?
Wake Forest corner, Kevin Johnson. they need a quarter. Or a corner, not a quarter. Corner. They need to beef up that defense because the Ravens, they're coming. The Bengals, the Browns, they're trying to add firepower. You need to be able to stop these offenses in the rough and tough AFC North.
Definitely. This next one, it pains me a little bit to make this pick, but I guess I got to do it.
You can go take the... I'll take the last NFC North team. You can take this one.
I have
because I feel like the Packers would hurt you more than hurt me.
I agree. I agree with you. So for this one here, the Detroit, it pains me to say Lions. It's hard to have it come out of my mouth. They got to go get Eric Flowers. This offense is getting so good out there. Yeah, you lost some defense, but you basically replaced Ndamukong Suh with the next best option. So get a tackle out there who's going to help keep Stafford on his feet, have the time to get the ball to either Golden Tate or the one and only Megatron. And it can't go bad. It really can't go badly. So I definitely think this is a knockout right here. Get that offensive line help.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I'm thinking about is, and the first thing I looked for, I want to say it was on Snapchat, so I can't find it. ESPN, you know how they have the Discover things? They had a thing where they redrafted I want to say it was the 2009. Was that the one where Stafford was drafted?
It's either 2008 or 9. 2009, I believe.
They redrafted that, and they had Stafford go somewhere. I was going to look to find it up, but with the Lions, the key to your success is keeping Matt Stafford, A, off his back, B, got to keep that left shoulder a little healthy. He showed against the Browns one time that he can huck it and chuck it with a separated shoulder, non-throwing shoulder. But you got to keep him healthy. You lost Ndamukong Suh. The defense is going to take a step back. You lost Nick Fairley. That defense is going to take a step back. How do you could say, hey, you know what? Let's just go for defense. No. You protect Matt Stafford because right now your offense is how you're going to win games.
For sure.
It's plain and simple. What about the Cardinals?
Well, here's the thing for Cardinals. I think they're in another position where it's a tough spot to be in. They're not having everything that they would love to have, but I think they go, what is the strong suit? It's defense. Go get yourself.
Well, right now it is. You got Patrick Peterson. I always mix him up with the NBA player that I want to say is in Houston. Patrick Peterson. You got the Honey Badger. You're a good team. If Carson Palmer could stay healthy, you might be able to make a run.
And, you're not going to really be able to get anything to replace Carson Palmer right now. I say stay on defense, all right? Marcus Peters. He's a great guy. Great player. He's really going to be he's going to get plugged into this defense, too. And just get so... It's unstoppable. This defense can't be moved.
Peterson on one side. Peters on another. And even if he's not the number 2 corner, then you have the Honey Badger.
Where are you going to throw to? Where are you going to throw to?
Russell Wilson will just run around a million times in the backfield and then find somebody. He'll find Jimmy Graham now.
It'll probably happen.
So it'll happen. But for the other teams they have to play,
they're not going to be able to throw
Seattle,
anywhere. Yeah.
Won't be able to do anything. I'm going to take 25.
You about to claw up?
The claw up Carolina Panthers, they're going to go offensive tackle. They're going TJ Clemmings. I feel like they have a need at left tackle. They have a need at right tackle. Why not just take it? He's on the board. It's need. I mean, they could go with best available. Jalen Collins is still there. I'm taking this from the mock draft from McShay. Bud Dupree's still available.
Definitely.
We have I'm trying to think. No one else is up there that's still available. Just go with TJ Clemmings.
Yeah.
Get the offensive tackle out of the way. And then for the Ravens at 26, what you really need is corner. Marcus Peters was already taken at 24.
Yep.
So at this point, you go, hey, Flacco, we lost Torrey Smith. Here you go, Jalen Strong, someone to throw to.
And now this next one I really like because this is just you lost
Cowboys?
one thing and you
talking
replace
about the Cowboys?
It. Yep. Talking about the Cowboys getting Todd Gurley. You don't care. You just replace probably one of the best running backs out there. And now, boom, you got another really great young running back.
I will say, I would much prefer the Cowboys to get Melvin Gordon. But the one thing that's going to throw a wrench into that situation is I really believe the Chargers are going to get Melvin Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why right here we've got Todd Gurley, because in the end, the Cowboys are going to go running back. It's either going to be Gordon if he's still available, or if Gordon gets taken by the Chargers, go, Todd Gurley. He's going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
For sure.
You have to have someone that can take the pressure off.
I mean,
Tony Romo.
You just saw what worked, so now you got to repeat it. Now, to move forward for the Broncos, I think the Broncos...
You want to know what you draft here for the Broncos?
What's that?
The Fountain of Youth. And then you have Peyton Manning get in the Fountain of Youth.
I mean, the closest thing you got is offensive line help.
Or if you can't find the Fountain of Youth, you go over to old Ray Shagul over here and you go, hey, you know what, Raish? Can I get in that Lazarus pit? I need to get a little younger.
Definitely.
That's what you do.
Doesn't typically work out that well for most people.
All the bros in the room, Mark, just went, what was that?
They're not here.
What was that?
So I say you got to go in for another Collins, L. Collins here.
Lael Collins.
I don't know if I'm saying that right. How I should say it. But
I feel like Lael
L. Collins here.
I would go at Lael.
Get yourself something to help keep Peyton Manning not hurt, because he's really old. So you want him on his feet, and with plenty of time, because he's Peyton Manning and he's a surgeon. Give him time. Give him time to throw.
And with the Colts at 29, Collins is really what you want, because you want someone to protect Andrew Luck. You want someone who blocked well in college and can block for your new running back, Frank Gore. But if you're sitting there, you go, hey, you know what? We already picked up a ton of these guys. Andre Johnson, Duron Carter. What's one more? Devin Smith, come on over. Andrew Luck, we're just going to give you one of the best wide receiver cores in the entire NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got Frank Gore. He's going to carry the load. He's going to take the pressure off you. We're just going to give you guys to throw to. Throw to all day. All day. That's what we're going to do.
Now, this is confusing me here, Ricky. I don't understand how this happened. I would think it's my idea to pick right now, but then all of a sudden the Packers come up.
I'm going to take it.
What's going on here?
I'm going to take it. The Packers are going to go with Carl Davis.
All right.
They're going to go with a defensive tackle. They're going to beef up the defense a little bit. And that's all we're going to say about the Packers, because really they don't need a pick.
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are.
They don't need one in our opinion.
I'm not happy about it.
Stupid cheeseheads.
Yeah. I was unhappy when I saw them getting all those compensatory picks. I'm like, these guys don't need anything.
Go with the Seahawks.
They're fine. Another team that doesn't need anything yet gets so many compensatory picks.
The runner-ups.
So for them, they need a wide receiver. I'm not thrilled with the wide receivers that are on the board, but you need to take one. You got to go Funches here, right? Because, I mean, who else are you going to take?
Well, and I mean, the Seahawks are one of those teams where it's like, they could pick anybody here. They ended up last year. They were in the same situation. However, they had like 32 because they won the Super Bowl. The whole reason we got Teddy Bridgewater is they said, you know what? We'll trade back.
Yeah.
Vikings traded in, got Teddy Bridgewater. In the end, the Seahawks could do it. The Patriots will probably do it for sure, because that's the Patriot way.
Yeah.
One or both of these teams are going to end up trading back. But because we said no trade skis, they're going to go at Funchess. Round it out. Take the Patriots.
The Patriots, the team that does throw, I'll say the team that does run the ball into the end zone instead of throwing it in interception land. They got to go. Like we said, they're probably going to trade out. But this is a team that, based on their needs, Lake and Tomlinson, it's a reach. We admit it's a reach. But based on their needs, this is really the guy that fits.
You know who's really they want, but we ended up having them go to the Cheeseheads in Wisconsin? Carl Davis. That's who they really want. They want a guy to replace Vince Wilfork.
Yeah, and they're not going to have it. It's not going to be here at 32. So they're going to pull classic Belichick, and they're going to trade back. So,
okay, any last thoughts of the first mock draft for the onside kick?
My only thoughts I want to say, the team I think that is going to get criticized the most out of this, if our draft was correct, even though I think I made both these picks, the Cleveland Browns, because they don't improve that offense, which needs so much. But I think I don't know. I just think there's too many questions. Until they have the Johnny Manziel question answered, I don't think there's too much else they can do in offense.
Well, that's going to do it here for the Onside Kick. I want you guys to tell us if you're listening to us on YouTube or SoundCloud. Tell us down below what you think of our first mock draft. Tell us where we went wrong. We love having conversations with you guys about anything going on in the NFL. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out at Most Valuable Pod on Twitter. You hit the subscribe button. I already said that. If you're listening to us on WXAV, you got to check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter. We're everywhere. Fill out those brackets for our sports movie brackets. It's on Twitter. It's on the Facebook for you. I'm at Ricky Widmer. Mark is at the, with two E's.
Dub them these.
Mark Weber. Want to thank everyone for listening today, wherever you may be. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast.